All right, imagine like stepping into this world, right, where the future of AI isn't like, controlled by these big tech giants,
Yeah.
but instead it's like scrappy startups shaking things up, and they've got this like totally different approach, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening right now in China, and that is where we're diving in today.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
I've been looking into this, and it's really a fascinating story.
Yeah.
And it highlights, I think, the potential of open source
Yes.
to completely change the game when it comes to developing and distributing like cutting-edge technologies.
Okay, so get ready. You are about to get the inside scoop on two Chinese companies, DeepSeek and Moonshot AI.
Okay.
These companies, they're making huge waves in the AI world.
I've heard of these guys, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing some really interesting things.
Okay.
And we've got some excerpts from
Okay.
a document called The DeepSeek Story: How a Group of Graduates Defied Silicon Valley and Won. And let me tell you, this thing is juicy. It is good stuff. And you'll see how these companies, they're not just like keeping up with the big players, they're setting a new pace. And they're forcing companies, big companies like Tencent and Alibaba,
Wow.
to completely rethink their strategies.
Yeah, it seems like the whole, like, the landscape is shifting. And it's shifting quickly. And it's really interesting to see how these companies are challenging, like,
Yeah.
some fundamental assumptions about how AI should be developed. And, like, who should have access to it? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, who gets to play?
Yeah, who gets to be at the table,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so DeepSeek. This company, it was started by a group of, are you ready for this? Recent grads and interns. Interns, okay? And they're driving this price war in China's AI market. And they are making the big players sweat.
Wow. So they're like shaking things up from the ground up.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's amazing.
And not messing around. And the key to their success, and I think this is true in a lot of industries, but the key to their success is their approach
Yeah.
to AI model architecture.
Okay.
Okay. So they've managed to develop these models they're super efficient.
Okay.
And they require far less computing power and memory than traditional models.
So like the barrier to entry is much lower in a way.
Way lower.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Yeah, let's get into the nuts and bolts here.
Yeah, so their model, it's called the DeepSeek V2 model.
All right.
Okay. Uses an architecture called, you ready for this?
MLA.
MLA. It stands for multi-level architecture.
Okay.
Okay, so it's utilizing this technology. It's called DeepSeek Sparse Mo.
Sparse Mo.
And essentially what it does is it allows the model to selectively use only the parts of its massive knowledge base
Okay.
that are relevant to a particular task.
Oh, that's really smart.
Right.
So it's not using all of its processing power all at once on everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of being more selective and saying like,
Yeah.
okay, I need this information over here. Let me just focus on that.
Yeah, it's like a massive library, right? And
Yeah.
instead of having to search through every single book
Right.
to find the information that you need,
Right.
you have a librarian who can point you directly to the right section.
Great,
Right.
good analogy. Yeah.
Okay, so this selective use of resources
Yeah.
makes their models, makes DeepSeek's models, much more efficient to run,
Okay.
which translates to lower operating costs.
Of course. Yeah.
Right. And they were passing those savings on to their users.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Okay. Which is why they're able to offer AI services at a ridiculously low price. 1 yuan per million tokens.
That's insane.
I know, right? So a token, just so everybody's clear, is basically a chunk of text that the AI processes.
Okay.
To put this in perspective, other companies
Yeah.
are charging significantly more for similar services.
Wow. So they're really like shaking up the pricing model as well.
Yeah, they're disruptors.
Yeah. There's there.
And this pricing strategy, it's not just about undercutting the competition, it's about challenging this fundamental assumption that advanced AI has to be expensive.
Right.
So they're saying we're not just making AI better, we're making it accessible to everyone.
I love that. Yeah.
Right.
Making it more democratic.
And that's a powerful statement, especially coming from like a relatively small startup that's going head to head with global tech giants, right?
Yeah. Taking on the Goliaths.
They're not stopping there. On top of that, they've fully embraced open source, which is a pretty radical departure from the traditional approach.
I was just thinking that like a lot of Western AI companies are very secretive
Yes.
about their technologies.
Yeah.
You know, treating them like trade secrets.
Yes.
Right. But DeepSeek is taking a completely different approach.
80.
Yeah.
Right.
They're openly sharing their innovations with the world,
Yeah.
encouraging collaboration, fostering a community-driven approach to AI development.
It's a different mindset.
Yeah, it's a very different mindset.
And it's really something to see.
It is.
Okay, so now let's talk about Moonshot AI.
All right, let's switch gears.
Yeah. So they've developed this AI model
Okay.
called Kimi K 1.5. And this thing is making waves because it's truly multimodal,
Multimodals.
which means it can handle not just text, like we're used to with AI,
Right.
but also images and code.
And it's exceeding even GPT-4 in certain areas.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's blowing people's mind.
Wow. It's like having an AI that can see and read and write code all at the same time.
Yeah.
Imagine the possibilities. Like, I mean,
I know, right.
you could feed it a medical image and have it generate a report outlining potential diagnoses
Yes.
or treatment options. Or you could ask it to analyze a complex piece of code and identify potential bugs or security vulnerabilities.
Whoa, and I forgot to mention its performance on some benchmarks, right?
Okay, yep.
So Kimi K 1.5, it ace tests like Math 500.
Math 500. Wow.
AME8.
Okay.
That's the American Invitational Mathematics Examination.
Right.
And even Code Forces, which is used to test competitive programmers.
So like hardcore programmers.
Yeah, like the best of the best.
Wow, that's really impressive.
It's really impressive.
And what's really remarkable to me is its ability to just process these massive amounts of data.
Yes.
So Kimi K 1.5 has a 128,000 token context window.
It's huge.
Which means it can take in like incredibly lengthy pieces of text, code, even sequences of images, and understand them. So it has like a deeper understanding of the information that it's processing.
Yeah, to give you an idea of how big that is, most AI models, they struggle to handle context windows over a few thousand tokens.
Yeah.
Like this is on another level.
Okay.
And what's great is that Moonshot AI, they've created this Kimi AI platform, which makes this technology incredibly accessible for exploration, for experimentation. It's user-friendly.
That's great.
So even those without a deep technical background can play around with Kimi K 1.5 and see what it can do.
I love that. It's like democratizing access to this really advanced technology.
Okay, so I'm already blown away by both of these companies.
Yeah, me too.
But now I'm dying to know, how do they stack up against each other?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Like head to head, who comes out on top?
Well, you're in luck because researchers have actually run head-to-head comparison
Oh, wow.
of DeepSeek R1, that's DeepSeek's newest model,
Okay.
and Kimi K 1.5 across a bunch of different tasks. And the results are pretty interesting.
All right, spill the beans. What happened?
Okay, so they really put them through the ringer. I mean, we're talking...
Give me the play-by-play. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, we're talking image analysis, web searching, handling multiple files at once.
Wow.
Even coding challenges.
That's amazing.
Okay.
And who won? Like, was it a clean sweep for either one?
You know what? It wasn't a clean sweep for either one. And I think that's what makes this so interesting. Because it highlights how different their strengths are.
Okay.
So let's go through it.
Okay.
First up, image analysis.
Okay.
Okay. So they gave both models a variety of images, and they asked them to interpret the data within them.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And Kimi K 1.5 really stood out here.
Really?
Yeah, its ability to just accurately understand and extract information from images was really impressive.
So, like, if you showed it a picture of a dog, it could tell you what breed of dog it was.
Exactly.
Or like, if you showed it a video of a car, it could tell you, like, what make and model the car was.
It could even go deeper than that. Analyzing, like, medical images for potential diagnoses.
Wow.
Or satellite imagery to identify patterns of deforestation.
It's that multimodal capability really shining through.
Exactly.
It can process these different types of data.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
What about web searching? Was Kimi K 1.5 still the reigning champ?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
It was definitely in its element, okay? So the researchers, they gave both models these very specific search tasks.
Okay.
Like finding red gowns under $200.
Right.
Or identifying articles about a particular scientific breakthrough.
Gotcha.
And Kimi K 1.5 consistently delivered focused and accurate results. Okay. It adhered to those constraints really well.
Okay.
DeepSeek R1 wasn't quite as adept at navigating the nuances of web searching.
Interesting.
So it sounds like if you need to sift through a mountain of information and find exactly what you're looking for, Kimi K 1.5 is the one to have on your side.
Is the way to go.
Yeah.
It's the Google search master.
It really demonstrated a knack for understanding and extracting relevant information from various sources. But then things got interesting when they moved on to handling multiple files.
Ooh, multiple files.
Now, this is where I thought for sure, I was like, okay, this is where DeepSeek is gonna shine.
That efficiency.
Given its focus on efficiency.
Yeah.
Not quite.
What?
Kimi K 1.5 again.
No way.
Showed its strength here.
Really?
So the researchers gave both models a collection of documents and said, summarize the key points.
Okay.
Kimi K 1.5, it was able to synthesize the information from multiple files smoothly. While DeepSeek R1 struggled a bit.
So it's that ability to handle those larger contexts that's giving it an advantage.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because you would think that efficiency would translate directly to certain tasks.
Right.
But
it's not always the case.
It's not always the case. All right. But what about coding? This is DeepSeek's bread and butter.
This is their,
Right. Surely they dominated this round.
Yeah, this has got to be their moment.
Okay, so they challenged both models to create a snakes and ladders game.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay, and I'll just tell you right now. Neither model was able to perfectly implement the snakes and ladders themselves.
Oh, good.
Which honestly, incredibly difficult, even for human programmers.
Yeah.
Right? But DeepSeek R1's code was significantly more advanced and modular. It showed a real aptitude for generating these complex code structures.
So even though Kimi K 1.5 was impressive in those other tasks, DeepSeek R1 proved its mettle when it came to generating that sophisticated code.
Yes.
Wow.
So each model, it really demonstrated its own area of expertise.
Right.
Okay, Kimi K 1.5 excels at understanding and extracting information from various sources. DeepSeek R1, it shines when it comes to more technical tasks like software development.
That's really interesting. It's like, it's almost like a real-life superhero team-up, right?
Yeah.
Where each one has their own kind of unique superpower.
Yes. But I'm curious, what does the rise of these open source AI powerhouses in China, what does that tell us about the future of AI, not just in China, but globally?
That's the big question, right? Like, what does this mean for the rest of the world?
Yeah.
I think it's a signal that things are changing.
Yeah.
Like, we're moving away from this idea that AI development is solely the domain of large tech companies with vast resources.
Right.
DeepSeek and Moonshot AI, they're proof that innovation can come from anywhere.
Yes.
And that open source can be a powerful catalyst for progress.
So they're not just shaking things up in China, they're sending ripples throughout the entire AI world.
Absolutely. And DeepSeek's pricing strategy, that's been a big wake-up call for Silicon Valley.
I bet.
Right? Companies like Microsoft and Google, they're having to reevaluate their pricing models for AI services.
So like DeepSeek called their bluff.
I think so.
Showing that high prices don't always mean you have superior technology.
Exactly. And this shift toward more affordable AI, that's opening up a world of possibilities.
Yes.
For smaller companies, startups, researchers who maybe couldn't afford to experiment with these technologies before.
Right. So it's like this democratization of AI where access to powerful tools is no longer limited to just this elite few.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the impact of open source, that goes beyond just affordability.
Yeah.
By sharing their knowledge and code,
yeah.
DeepSeek and Moonshot AI are fostering a more collaborative and transparent approach to AI development.
So it's like they're creating this global community of AI enthusiasts where everyone can contribute to pushing the boundaries.
That's the beauty of open source.
Yeah, it is.
Right. That's what's possible.
It's like this collective brain.
Yes.
Right, where everybody's kind of working together to move things forward.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
So in a way, they're not just building these amazing AI models, they're building a movement.
They are. And it's a movement that has the potential to reshape the entire AI landscape, making it more accessible, more collaborative, more innovative. So speaking of innovation, You mentioned DeepSeek's founder, Liang Wenfeng, earlier.
Oh, yeah, Liang.
What's his story? What drove him to create DeepSeek?
So Liang's story, it's fascinating, right? He actually spent years working in AI research at a quant fund, operating under the radar, before he launched DeepSeek.
Okay, so he had this deep understanding of both the financial markets and the technical intricacies of AI?
Exactly. He's got this unique perspective.
That's a powerful combination.
Yeah, on the potential of AI to disrupt traditional industries. But what's really interesting about Liang is that he wasn't driven by a desire for personal gain or recognition.
So what was his motivation?
I think he was driven by a deeper purpose.
Yeah.
He really believes that AI has the power to solve some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Okay.
Right. And that this power should be accessible to everyone.
Not just a select few.
Not just the elite.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wanted to democratize AI.
That's pretty inspiring.
It is.
It sounds like he's not just building a company.
Yeah.
He's building a legacy.
He is. And his commitment to open source,
yeah,
that's a direct reflection of that vision.
Right. By making their technology accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
DeepSeek is empowering a global community of innovators to contribute to that mission.
And that's really powerful.
Yeah, it is.
It's a powerful testament to the potential of open source.
Yeah.
Not just as a development model, but as a catalyst for positive change in the world.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to the tech for a second.
Right.
You've painted this, vivid picture of both DeepSeek R1 and Kimi K 1.5.
Yeah.
And we've talked about their individual strengths, but I'm curious, what are some of the key technical differences between the two models that led to those contrasting performance results?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Because it gets to the heart of what makes each model unique.
Yeah.
One key difference, I think, lies in their fundamental architecture.
Okay.
Remember DeepSeek's MLA?
Yes.
Multi-level architecture.
Multi-level architecture.
Right. It's all about breaking down these complex tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks.
So instead of trying to process a whole mountain of data at once, they're breaking it down into smaller hills.
Exactly.
Making it easier to climb.
Yeah, it's like divide and conquer, right?
Yeah.
You break the problem down into smaller pieces, and then you can tackle each piece more efficiently.
And that allows DeepSeek R1 to be incredibly efficient.
Right, especially when dealing with tasks that can be broken down into those smaller, more modular steps, like coding.
Yeah.
It's like having a team of specialized experts working together to solve a problem rather than one generalist trying to do everything.
I like that analogy. Okay, so how does Kimi K 1.5 approach things differently?
So Kimi K 1.5, it takes more of a holistic approach.
Okay.
Okay. Its strength lies in its ability to handle these massive amounts of data and understand complex relationships within that data.
So it's like seeing the whole forest.
Yes.
Instead of just the individual trees.
Exactly. This makes Kimi K 1.5 particularly adept at tasks that require a deep understanding of context and nuance, like analyzing images, searching the web, summarizing multiple documents.
So it's less about breaking things down and more about making connections across this vast sea of information.
Precisely. And this is where its massive 128,000 token context window comes into play.
It's incredible.
Right. It allows it to hold a vast amount of information in its mind at once, making it much better at understanding the bigger picture.
It's almost like comparing a master detective who can piece together clues from a wide range of sources to a brilliant engineer who can design and build complex systems from the ground up.
Love it.
They're both incredibly skilled, but their approaches and strength
totally different.
Are fundamentally different.
Yeah, I think that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And it highlights why both DeepSeek and Moonshot AI are so valuable to the AI community.
Yeah.
Right. They're pushing the boundaries of AI development in different but equally important directions.
Okay, so we've covered the impressive capabilities of DeepSeek R1 and Kimi K 1.5.
Yes.
We talked about their open source philosophies. We even talked about the unique backgrounds of their founders.
Yeah.
But let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
What's the bigger picture here? How is the emergence of these Chinese open source AI companies impacting the global AI landscape?
We're witnessing a major shift in the balance of power in the AI world, it feels like. For a long time, a select few companies, mostly based in the West, they held all the cards.
It was like this exclusive club that only the biggest players could get into.
Yeah, it's a very exclusive club.
But DeepSeek and Moonshot AI, they're breaking down those barriers.
Yes,
They're challenging the traditional power structures.
yeah.
And they're opening up the field to a much wider range of players.
It's like they're leveling the playing field.
So it's not just about technological innovation.
No.
It's about a fundamental shift in the culture
Yes.
of AI development.
Totally.
Their commitment to open source,
Yeah.
their focus on affordability,
Yeah.
they're democratizing access to AI.
AI.
They're empowering
Yes.
smaller companies,
Yeah.
researchers,
Yeah.
and even individuals
It's amazing.
to contribute to this rapidly evolving field.
It's like they're saying the future of AI shouldn't be dictated by a select few. It should be shaped by everyone.
Yes.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah. And this shift,
It's powerful.
it's having a ripple effect across the globe,
I bet.
right? Companies in Silicon Valley are taking notice. Governments are rethinking their strategies for fostering AI innovation. And a whole new generation of AI enthusiasts are being inspired to get involved.
It's an exciting time to be witnessing this transformation, but
It-
with such rapid advancements in AI,
Yeah.
there are bound to be challenges and concerns that come along with them, right?
You're absolutely right. There are always potential downsides to consider.
Yeah.
And we need to be mindful of those as we move forward.
Like what? Give me an example.
One of the biggest concerns is the potential for job displacement,
Okay.
right? As AI becomes more sophisticated, it has the potential to automate tasks that are currently performed by humans.
Right.
So that could lead to job losses in certain sectors, and it's something that we need to be prepared for.
So how do we address that? Is it all doom and gloom, or are there ways to mitigate those potential negative impacts?
It's definitely not all doom and gloom.
Okay.
I think the key is to be proactive.
Okay.
We need to invest in education and training programs
Uh-huh.
that equip workers with the skills they need to thrive in an AI-powered economy.
So instead of fearing AI as a job killer, we should embrace it as an opportunity to upskill and evolve.
Exactly.
Hmm.
We need to shift our mindset from one of fear and resistance
Yeah.
to one of adaptation and embrace. AI has the potential to create new jobs, new industries that we can't even imagine yet.
That's a much more optimistic outlook.
Yeah.
So it's about preparing for the future,
Yes.
not fearing it.
Exactly. The future of work is going to look different, but that doesn't mean it has to be a negative thing.
Right.
By embracing change, investing in the right skills, we can create a future where AI enhances human capabilities
Mm-hmm.
and creates a more prosperous and equitable world for everyone.
That's a powerful message, and it really underscores the importance of having these conversations,
Yeah.
of exploring both the exciting possibilities and the potential challenges of AI.
Open dialogue and informed discussion are crucial for navigating this rapidly evolving landscape.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And ensuring that we use this technology responsibly and for the benefit of all humankind.
Okay. All right. Let's switch gears a bit
Yep.
and talk more about the specific strategies that DeepSeek and Moonshot AI are using to navigate this complex and evolving AI landscape.
Okay.
And I'm particularly interested in how they're building and nurturing their communities.
Yes.
It seems like that's a key part of their success.
You're absolutely right. Community building is central to their approach. They understand that the success of open source projects
Yeah.
hinges on the active participation and contributions
Uh-huh.
of a diverse community of developers, researchers, and users.
So it's not just about making the code available. It's about actively engaging with the people who are using it.
Exactly. And they've been really proactive in creating spaces where developers can connect, collaborate, and share their ideas.
Give me an example.
So they're active on online forums.
Okay.
They host hackathons.
Okay.
They encourage contributions to their code repositories.
So they're building this like real sense of community ownership around their projects.
Exactly. Which is key to attracting and retaining top talent.
Right, because in the world of open source, talent often gravitates towards projects that have a strong and supportive community behind them.
Absolutely.
So they're not just competing for talent with traditional companies.
Right.
They're also competing with other open source projects.
Right. And they're doing a great job of attracting top talent by fostering a culture of collaboration, inclusivity, and shared purpose.
I'm also curious about their approach to strategic partnerships.
Okay.
How are they leveraging partnerships to expand their reach and impact?
They're both very strategic in their approach to partnerships.
Okay.
So DeepSeek, for example, has been partnering with hardware manufacturers
Okay.
to optimize their models for specific hardware platforms.
Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah,
So making them more accessible and affordable for a wider range of users.
that's smart.
Yeah,
By partnering with hardware companies, they can make their software more appealing to a broader audience.
exactly. It's about making sure their technology is accessible and easy to use
Yeah.
on a variety of devices and platforms.
What about Moonshot AI? What kind of partnerships are they pursuing?
So Moonshot AI has been focusing on collaborating with research institutions and universities
Okay.
to explore new applications
Okay.
for their multimodal Kimi K 1.5 model.
So they're tapping into the world of academia to push the boundaries of what's possible with their technology.
It's a win-win situation, right? Moonshot AI gets access to cutting-edge research and talent, and the research institutions get to experiment with and contribute to the development of this, like, groundbreaking AI model.
It's a great example of how collaboration can drive innovation and accelerate progress in the field of AI.
Totally. And it highlights the value of bringing together diverse perspectives and expertise to tackle complex challenges.
But let's be real, building and maintaining these successful open source projects, it's not all sunshine and roses, is it?
You're right. It's not always easy.
Yeah.
One of the biggest challenges for open source projects is sustainability.
Yeah. I imagine it can be tough to secure consistent funding and support for long-term development when you're relying on volunteer contributions and donations.
Exactly. It's a constant balancing act. They need to find ways to monetize their platforms while staying true to their open source principles.
That sounds tricky. How are they approaching that?
They're exploring different models like offering premium features or enterprise support services, which allow them to generate revenue while still keeping the core of their technology open and accessible.
So it's about finding a balance between sustainability and accessibility.
Exactly. And it's a challenge that many open source projects are grappling with.
What other challenges are they facing?
Another big one is managing community dynamics. Open source communities can be incredibly diverse, with people from all over the world with different backgrounds, skills, and motivations.
Yeah, I imagine that can lead to disagreements or conflicts about the direction of the project.
Absolutely. It's essential for DeepSeek and Moonshot AI to foster a culture of inclusivity, open communication, and collaborative decision-making to ensure that their communities remain cohesive and productive.
So it's not just about writing code, it's about building a community where everyone feels heard, respected, and valued.
Precisely. It's about creating a space where diverse perspectives are welcomed and where disagreements are seen as opportunities for growth and learning.
It sounds like they're not just building AI, they're building a movement, a community, a whole new way of thinking about technology development.
They are, and it's incredibly inspiring to witness. They're showing the world that open source isn't just a development model, it's a philosophy, a way of working together to create something truly innovative and impactful.
But let's face it, no matter how noble your intentions, there are always potential risks when you're dealing with powerful technologies like AI.